Shall we start? Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear friends in the Dhamma, before we practice meditation, I would like to explain a little bit Dhammanupassana, the fourth part of the Satipatthana Sutta. I think you know the first part is Kaya-anupassana, the second is Vedana-anupassana, third is Chitta-anupassana, the last one is Dhamma-anupassana. Contemplation of Dhamma. The first one, Kaya-anupassana, contemplation of body. Number two, contemplation of feelings. Number three, contemplation of mind. The last one, contemplation of Dhamma. This is a contemplation of Dhamma, and also this is a final step of mindfulness of breathing, and mainly directed towards insight gained through Dhamma. And also, first of all, it explained in this sutta Pancha Nivarana, 5 hindrances. In that part of the sutta explains, first of all, or first, Pancha Nivarana, 5 kinds of hindrances or defilements. Those 5 hindrances are very strong. That's why explain these 5 hindrances in that chapter as Dhamma. And then explain Pancha Upadana, 5 aggregates. After that, Salayatana, sense spheres or sense faculties, and Bojjhanga, 7 factors of enlightenment. Finally, 4 noble truths in that chapter explained as Dhamma. Then these 5 hindrances, hindrances cover 7 distinct mental qualities. You know, like the first one, Kamachanda, sense desire or sensual pleasure. Number 2, Vyapada, ill will. Number 3, there are 2, Thina and Midda. Thina Midda, sloth and torpor, or dullness and sloth and torpor and dullness. Also, we call it bad mental quality. And also, this the third one, Thina Midda. Fourth, also double, Uddacha Kukucha, restlessness and remorse. Also, there are 2. Then last one, Vichikicha, doubt. Altogether 7. But we call Pancha Nivarana 5 kinds of hindrances. But there are 7. And these 5 hindrances not only obstruct jhana or absorptions of attainment, and also these hindrances also impede the establishment of Bojjhanga or 7 kind of 7 factors of enlightenment. And this removal of Nivarana or hindrances and development of 7 factors of enlightenment are necessary condition for realization or enlightenment. These two explained in that chapter or in part. First, explain 5 hindrances, then the 5 aggregates, then the sense faculties, 6 sense faculties, then 7 factors of enlightenment, then finally 4 noble truths. I would like to explain a little bit these 5 kind of hindrances today, and also there are some suttas explaining with details. And the first one is kama chanda, sensual desire or sensual pleasure. Number 2 is vyapada, ill will or aversion. Number 3, tina midda, sloth and torpor or dullness and drowsiness. Number 4, uddhacca kukkucca, restlessness and remorse. The last one, vicikicca. And in Nivarana, this Nivarana Sutta in Samyutta Nikaya, one sutta called Nivarana Sutta or Hindrances in Samyutta Nikaya. These 5 Nivaranas or hindrances are makers of blindness. It explained that sutta, these Nivaranas are makers of blindness and causing lack of vision, and also causing lack of knowledge, and detrimental to wisdom, tending to vexation, and leading away from Nibbana. According to that sutta, Nivaranas are causing makers of blindness and causing lack of vision, causing lack of knowledge, detrimental to wisdom, tending to vexation and leading away from Nibbana. That's why these are very strong defilements. Then some suttas selected from the Sutta Pitaka. The one sutta called Sangarava Sutta, also in Samyutta Nikaya. One Brahmin called Sangarava, he went to the Buddha and he asked, Venerable Sir, we practice or we recite for a long time the hymns or Sanskrit, the prayers, but we can't remember them. Then he asked, what's the reason? Then Buddha explained to Sangarava, Brahmin Sangarava, like this. Brahmin, when one dwells with a mind obsessed and oppressed by sensual lust, and one does not understand as it really is the escape from arising sensual lust. On that occasion, one does not know and see as it really is one's own good and good of others and the good of both. Then even those hymns that have been recited over a long period do not recur to the mind, let alone those that have not been so recited. Then Buddha gave a simile one by one for these 5 hindrances. The first one for sensual lust. Suppose there were a bowl of water mixed with lac, turmeric, blue dye or crimson dye. If a man with good sight were to examine his own facial reflection in it, he would not know and see it as it really is. So too, when one dwells with the mind obsessed and oppressed by sensual lust, let alone those that have not been so recited. Then again, number 2, Buddha explained ill will or vyapada and give a simile to that. Again, when one dwells with the mind obsessed and oppressed by ill will, and one does not understand as it really is the escape from arising ill will, on that occasion one does not know and see as it really is one's own good, the good of others, and the good of both. Then even those hymns that have been recited over a long period do not recur to the mind, so and so. Then Buddha gave a simile. Suppose there were a bowl of water being heated over fire, bubbling and boiling. If a man with good sight were to examine his own facial reflection in it, he would not know and see it as it really is. The first one, a bowl of water mixed with many colors or dye, many colors. Sensual pleasure, the mind with sensual pleasure like that, not clear. And also the second one, ill will, also is similar to boiling water with bubble. When someone getting angry, then the mind is heated. And the Buddha gave a simile, a bowl of water being heated over fire and bubbling and boiling. Then the third one, when one dwells with the mind obsessed and oppressed by dullness and drowsiness, the Buddha gave a simile. Suppose there were a bowl of water covered over with algae and water plants. If a man with good sight were to examine his own facial reflection in it, he would not know and see it as it really is. The third one, the bowl of water with algae and water plants. And number 4, restlessness and remorse. Buddha gave a simile. Suppose there were a bowl of water stirred by the wind, rippling, swirling, churned into wavelets. If a man with good sight were to examine his own facial reflection in it, he would not know and see it is as really is. And number 5, the last one, when one dwells with a mind obsessed and oppressed by doubt. Buddha gave a simile. Suppose there were a bowl of water. This is cloudy, turbid, and muddy, placed in the dark. If a man with a good sight were to examine his own facial reflection in it, he would not know and see it as it really is. So too, when one dwells with a mind obsessed and oppressed by doubt, and one does not understand as it really is in the escape from horizon doubt, on that occasion one does not know and see as it really is one's own good, and the good of others, and the good of both. Then even those hymns that have been recited over a long period do not recur to the mind, let alone those that have not been so recited. That way, Buddha gave 5 similes to 5 hindrances. The first one, bowl of water with colors. The second one, a bowl, it's a boiling water, with boiling water. Number 2, the bowl of water with algae and water plants. Number 4, the water stirred by wind, not clear. And the last one, muddy with muddy water. That's way. The balls of water are not clear. The first one with colored, you can't see your face reflection on it in it. And the second one with boiling water, not clear. And third one, algae and water plants, also not clear. The fourth one with the wave by windy. The last one, muddy water. That way, Buddha explained the 5 hindrances in that sutta. And another sutta, this one from Anguttara Nikaya, books of 5, sutta number 23, sutta called Defilements. or nivarana in Pali, because there are these 5 defilements of gold, defiled by which gold is not malleable, wieldy and luminous, but brittle and not properly fit for work. What 5? Iron, copper, tin, lead and silver. Those are the 5 defilements for gold. These are the 5 defilements of gold, defiled by which gold is not malleable, wieldy and luminous, but brittle and not properly fit for work. But when gold is free from these 5 defilements, it is malleable, wieldy and luminous, pliant and properly fit for work. Then whatever kind of ornaments one wishes to make from it, whether a bracelet, earrings, a necklace or a golden garland, one can achieve one's purpose. So too, because there are these 5 defilements of the mind, defiled by which the mind is not malleable, wieldy and luminous, but brittle and not properly concentrated for the destruction of the taints or asavas. What 5? Sensual desire, ill will, dullness and drowsiness, restlessness and remorse, and doubt. These are the 5 defilements of the mind, defiled by which the mind is not malleable, wieldy and luminous, but brittle and not properly concentrated for the destruction of the taints. But when the mind is free from these 5 defilements, it becomes malleable, wieldy and luminous, pliant and properly concentrated for the destruction of the taints. Then there being a suitable basis, one is capable of realization and a state realizable by direct knowledge toward which one might incline the mind. That way, the 5 hindrances explained in that sutta. And another sutta also from Anguttara Nikaya, that sutta also explains or gives some instructions or details about the 5 hindrances. These are the 5 obstructions, hindrances of the mind, states that weaken wisdom. Because without having abandoned these 5 obstructions, hindrances, encumbrances of the mind, states that weaken wisdom, it is impossible that a bhikkhu with his powerless and feeble wisdom might know his own good, the good of others, or the good of both, or realize a superhuman distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the noble ones. Suppose a river were flowing down from a mountain, traveling a long distance with a swift current, carrying alone much flotsam. Then on both of its banks, a man would open irrigation canals. In such a case, the current in the middle of the river would be dispersed, spread out and divided, so that the river would not longer travel a long distance with a swift current carrying alone much flotsam. So too, without having abandoned these 5 obstructions or hindrances, it is impossible that a bhikkhu might realize a superhuman distinction of in knowledge and vision worthy of the noble ones. But bhikkhus, having abandoned these 5 obstructions, hindrances, encumbrances of the mind, states that weaken wisdom, it is possible that a bhikkhu with his powerful wisdom might know his own good, the good of others and the good of both, and realize a superhuman distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the noble ones. Suppose a river were flowing down from a mountain, traveling a long distance with a swift current, carrying along much flotsam. Then a man would close up the irrigation canals on both of its banks. In such a case, the current in the middle of the river would not be dispersed, spread out and divided, so that the river could travel a long distance with a swift current carrying long much flotsam. So too, having abandoned these 5 obstructions, it is possible that a bhikkhu might realize a superhuman distinction in knowledge and vision worthy of the noble ones. That way, that sutta explains the 5 hindrances. And according to Satipatthana Sutta, it instructions how to practice this reflection, or how to practice meditation on these hindrances, 5 hindrances. It explains like this. Contemplating the hindrances like this way. If sensual desire is present in him, he knows present sensual desire, there is sensual desire in me. If sensual desire is present in him, he knows there is sensual desire in me. The first one. Then secondly, if sensual desire is not present in him, he knows there is no sensual desire in me. And number 3, he knows how unarisen sensual desire can arise. Then fourthly, he knows arisen desire can be removed. Then finally, and how a future arising of the removed sensual desire can be prevented. That 5 ways. The first one, if a sensual desire arises in him or present in him, then he notices it, the sensual desire in him. Then not arising sensual desire, he realizes, he knows it, the sensual desire not with him. Then number 3 is can remove and also can prevent it. And like that way. Then the number 2, Vyapada, also if ill will is present in him, he knows it in him. Then ill will not present in him, he knows it not present in him. And also unarise ill will can be arise in any time. And also how arisen ill will can be removed, and how future arising of removed ill will can be prevented. That way, Thinamiddha, dullness and drowsiness also he knows, arising and not arising, and also can be removed, can be arise, can be arise, can be removed, can be prevented that way. Then when we practice even breathing meditation, in our mind arise some defilements, one of this or 2 of these or 3 of these, maybe desire or attachment or greediness, maybe ill will or anger, hatred, and dullness or drowsiness, restlessness or remorse and doubt. When they arise, we realize them, and we think that way. It's arise in my mind. And also anger or ill will and greediness, then we can think can be removed. Then can be arised in future, something like that way. Then we can practice breathing meditation and continue. Okay? Now we practice meditation. Breathing meditation. You can close your eyes gently and keep your back straight and relax your muscles of the body, especially muscles on your face and neck, shoulders, and mind also should be relaxed. Forget your past things, something happened in the past, and also future plans, all the things we have to be forget. And we should concentrate breathing in and out. First of all, take deep breath 3-4 times. Then we practice normal breathing in and out. Okay, we practice. Take long breath in, out.